Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. Today I want to share with you a news item that I came across. It is from NIH. The news item talks about researchers who conducted an experiment on monkeys using an experimental HIV vaccine and discovered something that is very useful for all vaccines. Before we proceed into the topic, I'd request that while you're watching this video, please consider pressing the like and subscribe because that will help this channel a lot. Now, with that said, I would also like to remind you that we have an interview coming up with AGT, that is American Gene Technologies, regarding their AGT-103-T HIV functional cure vaccine. The video is planned for release on 15th, but if you press the notify button, you will not miss it. Now, let's dive into the topic of today's video. Welcome back, friends. The NIH news article, I have left a link in the description for you to read it for yourself. The article says that researchers conducted experiments on monkeys with an experimental HIV vaccine. In this experiment, they divided the monkeys into various groups. Each group received a different vaccine delivery regime. When I say a vaccine delivery regime, I mean the dosage, the way it is delivered, the booster shots, the duration between the booster shots. All those things fall into what I call as vaccine delivery regime. The researchers gave 8 rhesus monkeys a series of 7 shots of HIV antigen. Shots were given every other day with increasing doses for a total of 12 days. 4 of the monkeys received a booster shot at the week 10 of the study. The others received a booster shot at week 30. A comparison group of 6 monkeys received a conventional single dose of the vaccine at the start of the study and a booster shot 10 weeks later. Now, before we proceed further, we need to understand a concept called germinal center. It so happens that the body's immune systems have many elaborate processes to help fight disease-causing microbes. Some immune cells can form temporary antibody-producing factories called germinal centers within lymph nodes. Germinal centers are protected spaces where B cells, which produce antibodies, can mature, multiply, and continuously evolve. This process improves their ability to make more effective and diverse antibodies that can block and bind foreign invaders. Now that we understand what a germinal center is, here comes the exciting discovery. The researchers found that germinal centers for HIV antigen in slow-dosed monkeys persisted for at least 6 months, with B cells continuing to evolve and improve. In conventionally immunized monkeys, binding to the HIV antigen peaked at week 3 and then declined. In contrast, such binding in slow-dose monkeys remained on the rise. By week 10, the slow-dose monkeys had 186 times the number of germinal center B cell targeted to HIV antigens compared to conventionally immunized monkeys. A single booster shot given to some monkeys at week 10 led to an increase in HIV neutralizing antibodies, but the slow-dose monkeys that did not receive a boost at all at that time saw further improvements to antibody qualities and quality over time. The monkeys who received a booster at 30 weeks had even greater levels of naturalizing antibodies, better memory B cells, and more diverse antibodies 6 months after the initial shots. The findings suggest that a delay in booster shots along with slow dosing might make for more effective vaccines against fast-evolving viruses, including influenza and SARS-CoV-2. This is a great breakthrough and suggests that already effective vaccines for fast-mutating viruses can be made even more effective by just properly timing the dosage and booster shot scheduling. The HIV therapies we have seen so far in the genomics field are taking a different approach. The excision approach is to truncate the HIV virus and take out large chunk of HIV DNA and render it ineffective. The AGT method is to harvest T cells from the body, improve them by removing the so-called door handle that HIV uses to pull open the door and get into T cells and do the damage. In the absence of the ability of HIV to enter the modified T cells in case of the AGT approach, the T cell gets the opportunity to neutralize the HIV virus. Think of this as putting an impenetrable armor around the T cell so that while it battles the HIV cannot land a blow on it. Back to the topic of this video. The findings may be very useful in future pandemics because viruses like flu and COVID mutate very fast, and that's the reason why we need to come up with various versions of the vaccine. But if our body can also mutate the immune system faster by having staggered dose of the vaccine, it's likely that we'll be able to have better outcomes against future pandemics. Well, friends, that's all for today. Bye for now. Take care.